Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm your host, of course, down here at the Peppermill. Absolutely amazing. If you haven't been down here, it is definitely a must. This is the Elvis Presley booth, and whom I have the two M's with me. I have Mark and I have Mike.
Yes.
And Mark Cash. And Mike, I can't pronounce his last name, it's Italian, and I was married to Italian, but my Italian name was easy. DeRosa.
Pandulo.
Pandulo. Let's see it right, Pandulo.
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 Sometimes I just call him Dulo.
Dulo.
Like
Dulo, do high.
Dulo,
Anyway,
do high.
how are you guys?
Good, and you?
I'm well, I'm better now. You're on my set.
There you
I
go.
mean,
We're
absolutely.
better now that we're here
Now,
with
you're an amazing lawyer, and
Yes.
you're an amazing entertainer in many, many ways. You entertain, you play the guitar, you sing.
Ironically,
you do
I'm more entertaining.
He's more entertaining.
You know why?
I just play more
You know why he
instruments.
says that, don't you?
Why?
Because he's a lawyer.
There you go.
Yeah, lawyers are supposed to be very entertaining. I don't know whether
They're
they
not.
are.
Most of them are
The
not.
only thing
at
I want
all.
to know about a lawyer is win my case.
All right.
Well, he's the one.
Is he the?
He's
now,
the one.
Now, how you're a lawyer?
Yes.
And you're in the entertainment business. So how do you two come? He must be your lawyer.
He is my attorney as well.
Did he get you out of a mess?
He certainly did.
Because it had to be a
He
mess,
certainly
believe
did.
me.
But it also was, fate and kismet.
Fate.
Because he turned out to be a great singer, songwriter, and I was happened to look for somebody.
Wait a second, you're a singer?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
He's a bit like Bublé, isn't he?
No.
Okay, what does he
No,
sing?
He's
my-
a rock
so
and roller.
I
my
was going to
father-
say, you probably sing hard rock
No,
or something
he's a rock
crazy.
and roll.
My father was a musician, and he did a lot of. He did like Elvis, Sinatra, and.
Oh, what did he do with Elvis?
Oh no, I mean he did those
Oh,
songs.
the songs and everything. Okay,
yeah,
yes,
he did
sang
it.
those songs. Oh,
yeah,
he was
and
a
so
singer.
when I was growing up, he would be practicing those songs. And
So he did not want you to go into the entertainment business.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because most, when you're in the entertainment, you don't want your children to actually struggle through what you've just been through.
And ironically, his father, I was musical director for his father for a while, and I actually had two gentlemen that played with Sinatra to play with us.
Oh,
And his
really?
father, his father's got that suave
But
Italian.
the thing is, so Sinatra. My father was a big Sinatra fan, but guys like that were the next Sinatra.
Yes.
Like you remember there was what was
The
the guy in the
impersonators, you
'90s?
mean?
Well, no. Like Bublé is like the next Sinatra. You know,
I
some
can't-
people
no,
say
I counted him on his
modern
own.
crooners type of thing.
Yes.
I don't know. I think they're not as good as Sinatra.
No,
Just
because
my opinion.
I'm a big believer there's only one of everybody.
Yes.
And as much as you want to look like them and try to be like them and the whole, but you never are. You never are. There's only one Ninon. Anybody who wants to
That's
sort of
for sure.
impersonate me,
That's
go
for
right
sure.
ahead. Good
I've-
luck.
I don't think I've ever met another Ninon.
No,
No, there's only one, right?
only one. Only one.
Is that good or bad?
I love that. I love that
sweet.
name. I think
Isn't that
it's
a pretty
cool.
name?
It is a pretty name.
Do you know where the name comes from?
We could actually call
We
band
actually
Ninon.
we're actually talking about where we
Where
got
it
the
came
name.
from?
Yeah, we
Where?
couldn't figure it out.
Okay, Ninon came from the very famous woman in Paris. Her name was Ninon de L'Enclair. And I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, de L'Enclair or something. And she was very, very famous in the society business. And my mother was reading this book about Ninon de L'Enclair. And that's when she met my father. And my father was like 20 years old at that time. Mum was a little older than him. And they fell in love and they got married. And they had two children before me. And my brother Aubrey and Juliet. And then I came along. I was supposed to be a boy. And I was a girl. So they had no name for me. So they called me Ninon from the book that they met together on. So it's a pretty story.
That's a great story.
Isn't that a lovely
That's
story?
awesome.
So, and they
That's
met
awesome.
in the south of France, so it was really quite lovely. And they
Very
lived in
cool.
England. But
Well, I'm
that's
named
cool.
Michael from The Godfather.
The Godfather.
There he
There
goes.
we go. Now it's becoming interesting. So now, what are you doing now in Vegas? What's going on?
We're basically working on putting an album together. We're going to be picking out some other musicians to the band.
If
of
I can
course,
keep
is
him out of jail.
Well, you will.
Of course, the band's name is 10,000 Suns, and if I can get him to get his ass, excuse the language, to rehearsal on time. But he is a busy
But
guy.
he's a busy guy. He's
But-
keeping people all out of jails and
That's
all
right.
sorts of
So
things.
I have to give it to him to that
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he does.
Are you a
his,
good lawyer?
Excellent.
He's a great lawyer.
Isn't that amazing?
Like
I
I
love
said,
that.
he
I
go-
love when you come out excellent.
He could have got Christ off the cross. I'm telling you.
Oh, really?
Um,
Is it just an instinct, or is it something that you just? It looks like you know the answer to whatever's going on in a case. It looks like you know the answer and how to get over it.
I think it's improvisation, a lot of it.
Really?
Street smarts,
Street
a
smart.
little bit of book smarts.
Yes.
I get a lot of those, though. I don't know what it takes is I don't know. I guess you have to
Do you look at it logically, or do you look at it? How do you
both.
when you say
both.
bothly?
It's both. So when people are you left-brained or right-brained?
Right,
And
yeah,
left,
yeah. Yeah,
right.
left this, right
One's
that,
supposed
yeah.
to be creative versus one's supposed to be logical. When people ask, are you
Yeah.
left-brained or are you right-brained? I say yes,
Both.
both. You
I
have to
agree
be
with
both.
that because I'm both.
Yeah. Because if you're not creative with your logic and
Yeah.
vice versa,
Yeah.
and logical with your creativity, you're not
It
going to
doesn't
be.
kind of work. Either
No.
you're either over hair crazy or your hair not crazy.
Right.
And put the two together and you're sane.
Yeah.
So for me as a writer and with his background and stuff as a singer, that's what makes it really actually interesting.
I would
We do have some little fights over like lyrics and things like that because I'm a little. We had to talk
Are you
about.
a little risque?
Well, no, that's not the issue. No, because he wouldn't be bothered by that. It's I have a problem with like I was talking about mixed metaphors.
Yes.
See,
Yes. Okay.
And
I
I had to
tend to
explain to
write-
him. He's of course a veteran musician, and
Yes.
he got. What I like to do is make a very provocative statement and then justify it. So I said to him, "Hey Mark, I'm going to teach you a lesson about music," and he got so
Oh,
mad.
thanks a lot.
No,
Like,
and I was like, when you merit, no, but no, but it's good. It's a good, it keeps.
But then I did though.
It keeps her
but you
instincts
still
up.
did it.
Because
I
I'll
did.
tend to write things, like you said, metaphorically.
No.
Figure like the clouds moving, the lights losing, a war that I can't fight.
Ah.
For darkness is my lover
Okay,
tonight.
there
See,
you
to
go.
me that
I hope we
expresses.
picked all that up.
To me that expresses
yeah.
symbolic instead of
But
saying.
it's a mixed metaphor.
Instead of saying
It's a
where
mixed
he's more
metaphor.
direct, probably because of all his
Well,
experience
I was going to
as
say,
a
with what he does, he
as a
has to be
litigator
more.
and
Yes.
all, because he's more like, well, you did that and she did that, and
No,
this is how it's going to
See, he
be.
still doesn't get it. I'm still teaching the lesson. The thing is, when you have it's fine to use a metaphor, but you have to stick to that same metaphor. And this happens in lyrics and
Yes, it
popular
does.
songs
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
Is they go from one metaphor to the next.
Yes.
And each are adequate to describe a situation, but when you mix them, it's if you analyze it, and I guess maybe you don't analyze it, but it can
I
it's
don't know-
technically not
I
correct.
don't know anybody in the music industry analyzes anything regarding music. And
yeah.
the
See,
reason I say that is because music, when you're actually writing or when you're actually singing, you're actually flowing along and you're not thinking of anything else but the words just
Well,
come.
there's poetic license, like I
Yes.
said, like
And
that
it just
one,
comes.
the one term I use where I'll use other terms, like take a look around. You know what I mean? It's more direct
Yes.
to the person instead
Instead
of
saying take a look
saying,
around.
You take a
you
look,
say, take a look around. And you bring in the other words. And you
Yeah,
bring
and then
in-
I can start pointing out, take a look around, the world is this, the world is that, and that's a little more direct first person. But then there's other things that, like I said, cover the clouds moving, the lights losing. I mean, it
See,
That's
it
fine.
symbolizes
That's
a
one
lot. It
metaphor.
symbolizes love.
He's-
It could symbolize
that by itself.
sadness. It could symbolize the climate.
Yes,
It could
yes.
symbolize.
So I want to know, Mark, who have you played with? Because he's very famous out there, by the way. Remember that?
Well,
you
I've
have
been
a lot of
fortunate enough to jam and just play with a lot of people I've done records with. Is like I did stuff with Chris Squire from Yes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I had a band, Solus Rex, that I worked with for a long time, but I've been fortunate enough to play with the likes of Miles Davis, Tupac,
Tupac?
Prince.
Billy
That's
Idol.
right, he was with Prince as well.
You
Billy.
know, so you get mixed in these, like in LA, you go to these little jam sessions, or for instance,
yeah.
Prince was rehearsing, unfortunately, 6 months before he died, next door to us at a place called Amp in North Hollywood, and we just became friends and hung
Friends and
out and
everything
whatnot. Same with Chris Cornell, who also recently passed away. And there's just a big hang in LA, the Rainbow Bar and Grill on
I
Sunset,
know the Rainbow,
which is
yeah,
like that was our
yeah.
home
Where-
from
who
the best
doesn't know
chicken,
the Rainbow?
best chicken soup in the world, right
Yeah.
behind the Roxy.
That's right, yeah.
But Lemmy, who'd recently passed away, that we'd all just hang out and end up jamming at the Viper Room or Skinny's in North Hollywood.
Yeah. There's so many places to hang out in. I lived in Los Angeles for I won't say how many years. Date myself.
A few.
Just a few years.
Several.
Just a few years. So where are you going now? What are you doing now? What is your aim in Vegas right now? What do you?
Right now, he wants to
Mike.
stay out of jail.
Right now, I want to
Right
stay
now
out
he
of
wants
jail.
to stay out of jail. Should I ask you why are you? Why is he heading for
Because he
it?
won't.
Today was
because
a close
sometimes he
one.
doesn't listen to my advice.
Oh, so you did something you shouldn't have done. Obviously.
It's one thing. We're both kind of alpha males, so you know we tend to sometimes knock heads.
One though is a little bit more alpha. Though.
But but you know, this is his field of expertise. You know, the legal stuff.
There
so.
you go. And so he's going to keep you out of jail.
Right.
If
Where he
he-
lets
if
me
he-
roll with the music stuff.
if he
a little
listens
more.
to my advice.
Yes.
Okay, so you roll with the music stuff, and you get involved in the music stuff, and you let him take care of your body of not going into a place you don't want to be.
Correct. But then again, once the record's done, it might be a good idea because you know that's how it works. You go to jail, your record sales go up.
I didn't
You
realize
know,
that.
that's
I
what
don't-
rappers do. If the
I've
sales,
never been a rapper. I'm not a
if-
singer. I've
if-
never been to
if
jail.
sales are down, get locked up. Bam, your
But
sales go
he's
up.
in jail and
You
he's
know,
got a hit out
he's
there.
got street cred,
I
yo.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So-
How can anybody get in touch with you, Mike? What do you do? Criminal cases and all
Criminal
this?
defense, also
Criminal defense,
personal injury.
personal injury.
If you just, you know,
I've got brain problems.
Well, it's funny because he's famous. Yesterday we were actually like at 3 in
Walmart.
the morning driving around looking for an open Walmart. We finally found because he was looking for an
Well, what time in the
electrical
morning?
device. So we
he
finally
made
ended
that
up.
sound really weird, by the way.
No,
It
well,
wasn't
he
a
was
weird
looking
thing.
for an electrical device to make a speaker work that we were
It was a
listening
power
to.
adapter.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So we ended up going to Walmart. We finally found one and talk about. I mean, I'm used to people recognizing me from music and stuff, but some guy out of nowhere shopping by
recognized
himself.
him?
He goes, "Oh, you're the."
I thought he
you're
was
that,
like a client I represented.
He's like, "You're that lawyer guy," because he used to be
Saw
on
me on
Las
TV
Vegas
on
Did
this
Law.
it make
TV
you
show
feel
that-
good?
Yeah, it was funny, and we're talking, and
You
you
said,
know.
hang on a second, why don't they recognize me? You don't know who I am?
No,
You know?
we were talking now.
Mark Cash, you don't
Hey,
know?
let me tell you, I get enough
Recognition.
recognition. I like to be stealth, especially trying to stay.
But
out
these
of
things
jail.
happen. I was at an antique place the other day just buying some antiques at an estate, and I had no makeup and I had a hat on and I didn't look anything like I look now. And I
people
got
recognize.
recognized.
That's what it
No,
was.
they recognized.
I was in
Can't
I was
do
in
that.
like sweats because normally because I was on the show Las Vegas Law, the
Yes.
Sin City Justice,
Yes.
and usually people will recognize me if I have a suit on, but not otherwise. And this guy was
And
like,
we were both in
Well, not only
t-shirts
does
and
he-
sweats
Not
and
only
flip
does
flops.
he wear a suit, but he also wears a shirt that's really all the way down.
well,
you go.
that's just because I'm leaning back and
no,
and I
it's
get
because
this.
he wants to show his.
Oh, that's
he's
true.
got-
I can't lie.
There you
No,
He
that's
likes to
fine.
show his.
Well, I
I
got
don't know.
tattoos.
He's
so.
got tattoos and he's got stuff. He's of this day and age. Hello, come on. This is what we are like.
This is what all the lawyers
Yeah,
dress
they
like
dress
today.
like the-
No, they
Then
don't.
no lawyer I know
No,
dresses
no.
like this
But
guy.
this
He's
is
definitely
why
got
I
a
love
unique
you.
fashion
I
sense.
love you as who you are and how you represent yourself as a brilliant lawyer. This is a brilliant lawyer. Believe me, I'm not kidding. Let's be serious. This guy's great. Just because he's got a shirt
I can't be
down
serious.
here-
I can't be serious.
Yeah.
Well,
But he
should I button
wins.
it up? I'll
No,
button-
but the
one
good
button
look,
is
but
more
the good looking
serious.
female,
And then less
No,
serious.
come on.
the
One
good,
less?
the good looking,
yeah.
the
There we
good
go.
looking female judges even go before the cases start. They'll be like, "Hey, what are you wearing? Take a spin." And he's like,
Because-
well,
and then he doesn't.
he's
he
doing,
also
he's on
doesn't
the
have any
catwalk.
socks on.
Well,
But that's because he got dressed in a hurry.
no,
Guys,
no,
not
that was
teasing.
intentional.
No, that's
that
he
was
did it.
intentional.
Everything.
I
he
was
does.
thinking no shoes at all. What do you think?
Oh.
Maybe next time.
Next time, no shoes. I don't mind. It's
That's
you,
okay.
not me.
There
No,
you go.
no.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean,
No
I do
shoes.
what I do. I don't mind what people do.
Look, do you think
know,
Marc?
I-
do you think Marc has enough jewelry on?
Well, no, I love this. This I
Yeah.
think is amazing.
Thank you.
This is the beard. This is the new beard. Everybody out there, this is your new beard.
Ladies, the thing I can do with this, ooh la la.
There we go.
Now,
You
I
better-
figured
You better
what-
close the show out. Hang in a second. Hang
And
in
what
a
he
second.
means by that is hang himself.
Women been treating me like a dog all my life. I grew a leash. There you go. And here's my watchless watch to
His
tell me.
watchless
skull.
watch with the
That's
skull.
when it reminds
He's got
me
all
when
the
I'm gonna
bracelets
die.
on. He's got all this on. He's tied up by a piece of string here. Unusual. I have to close the show because we're going over and above our time. Thank you, Mike.
So when are you
Thank
going to
you,
come
Marc.
on our show?
Whenever you, I haven't been invited
All
yet.
right. Well,
I
we're
have-
going to be
I have
doing
to
a
be
reality.
invited.
We're going to be doing a reality
Oh,
show,
hang on,
and
I
we
got
insist that you
competition.
come in.
No,
now.
No.
We can't have no competition
only one
with you.
Ninon.
You'll kick our butts. No, there's only one Ninon.
Yeah, and anytime I can help you, I
Oh,
will
yes.
help you.
And likewise, if you ever need
Yeah.
some sidekicks to interview some of your other,
Yeah, I always need sidekicks.
we'll be your sidekicks.
Well,
I want to thank
We,
everybody on
we
set
come in
here.
stereo.
I love it. 2 for 1, right here.
There you go.
Amazing guests. I've had amazing guests all afternoon, actually. And thank you all for watching. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Pepper Mill. Thank you,
Peace.
everybody. Thank you for all my people that are working with me, all my directors, producers, everybody. Love you all. See you next week.